You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Reports weekly week in review for girls basketball, episode 120.2, for teams from Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and northern Hamilton counties.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report. Congratulations on making great choices. Today is December 16th, 2024. It is a Monday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I am your host, Greg Mengelt, coming to you from Stage 22 in Elwood, Indiana. Producer Susie is back at headquarters in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Coming up, we will have our weekly honors and our new top 20 girls basketball power poll. But now we review all 32 local teams in Blackford, Delaware, Grant, Howard, Madison, Tipton, and northern Hamilton counties. We will have our boys basketball week in review for you on Tuesday morning. We start with the CIC and go in order of the current standings. Oak Hill is now 10-1 overall and 3-0 in the CIC. Last week they won 31-21 at Mechaniqua. They held the Braves to 18% shooting. Senior Alexa Myers led the team with 12 points and 9 rebounds. Then they beat Mississinawa 47-23 for a big CIC win. That is the 6th straight win for Oak Hill. The Golden Eagles host 8-2 Wabash on Wednesday, and what should be a good one. Then try to make it 4-0 in the CIC when they go to 5-6 Frankton on Saturday. Class 2A number 2 Alexandria is 11-0 overall and 2-0 in the CIC. They won their second CIC contest this week with a 67-22 win at Blackford on Friday, their only game of the week. They, of course, played on Monday evening. We will have that result for you on Tuesday afternoon. Alexandria star Jacqueline Hosier had 28 points on just 15 field goal attempts. She also had, listen to this, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 9 steals. Senior Lily Harp had 11 points and 7 steals. Alexandria is one of 12 unbeaten teams left in the state. After hosting 0-10 Westdell on Monday, the Tigers return home and face 3-6 Eastbrook in their third CIC game. Frankton started their week with a 55-50 loss at Daleville, then beat Eastbrook 51-21 on Friday. I asked Frankton head coach Jeff Bates how he was feeling about his team at about the midway point of the season.
Well, I would love to string together a couple of games here, Greg. Where we've got some really good play, whether it's win or loss. I would love to see us just string together several good games of basketball. We've got several tough opponents coming up. Our next 3 are Wapahani, Oak Hill, and Kokomo. And so we got a little bit of a tough stretch, but there's no reason that we couldn't play well against those teams.
Frankton hosts 10-1 Oak Hill on Saturday in their final game of 2024. Mississinawa is 3-6 overall and 1-1 in the CIC. The Indians beat Southwoods 47-39 Wednesday behind 16 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals from senior J.C. Crick. Junior Charlie Ballage had 11 points in the win. Then they took their first CIC defeat 47-23 at Oak Hill on Saturday. Mississinawa goes to 5-4 Yorktown on Wednesday. Then they're at 2-8 Madison Grant in another CIC contest on Saturday. Elwood won twice last week against a pair of rivals to improve to 8-3 on the year. The Panthers beat rival Tipton 46-17 on Tuesday, then won their first CIC game in nearly 6 full years with a 50-19 win at Madison Grant on Friday. Elwood returns home to face 1-9 Blackford this Friday. Eastbrook is 3-6 overall and 1-2 in the CIC. They lost 51-21 at Frankton in their only game of the week. The Panthers are at 7-4 Delta on Tuesday and at 11-0 in Class 2A number 4 Alexandria on Friday. Then they host 3-7 Blue River on Saturday in a very busy week. Madison Grant is 2-8 overall and 1-2 in the CIC. The Argyles lost 90-14 at Lapel on Wednesday and 50-19 at home against Elwood on Friday. Grace Wood had 10 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 block shots for the week for Madison Grant. The Argyles are at 0-10 Eastern on Tuesday and at 8-4 Anderson Prep on Thursday. And Blackford is 1-9 overall and the only team without a CIC win at 0-2. The Bruins lost to Lakewood Park 53-22, then lost to Alexandria 67-22, and now have 8 straight losses. The Bruins host 4-5 Jay County on Tuesday, are at 8-3 Elwood on Friday in a CIC contest, then host 2-9 Hamilton Heights on Saturday afternoon. Now to the Eastern Conference East Division. Western is 2-6 overall and 1-0 in the conference. They have lost 4 games in a row, all against good teams, all in competitive games. The Panthers lost 49-36 to Kokomo on Wednesday, then 48-46 to Twin Lakes on Saturday. Junior Elise Walden had 30 points and 24 rebounds for the week. The Panthers are at 5-6 Tippecanoe Valley on Monday. We will have details on that on Tuesday's Central Indiana Sports Report Girls Basketball Scoreboard. Then they are at 4-6 Clinton Prairie on Wednesday. Then they host 5-4 Benton Central on Friday. 3 good opportunities for wins for Western. What a week it was for the Hamilton Heights Huskies. After starting 0-9, they beat Logansport 50-35 Tuesday for their first win of the season. Senior Katie Brown and sophomore Presley Cherry had 15 points apiece. They also combined for 16 steals in the win. Freshman Abby Hilfiger had 9 points and 8 rebounds. And then on Saturday, Hamilton Heights beat West Lafayette 41-39. The Huskies host 7-3 Kokomo on Tuesday, then are at 1-9 Blackford on Saturday afternoon. Tipton is 2-9 overall and 0-2 in the Hoosier Conference. They lost 46-17 to Elwood on Tuesday, 50-27 at Clinton Central on Thursday, and 86-17 at Lapel on Saturday. And it just keeps getting tougher. On Wednesday this week, they go to 7-1 Sheridan. To the Hoosier Heartland Conference, Sheridan won 66-42 at Rossville Thursday for their 5th straight win, and back-to-back Hoosier Heartland victories. Senior Shelby Heaton had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 assists in the win. Senior Kinsey Garner, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. The Blackhawks host 6-4 Tri-West Tuesday, host 2-9 Tipton Wednesday, then host 0-10 Eastern on Friday. That is a big one on Tuesday. Tri-Central is 5-5 overall, 2-1 in the Hoosier Heartland. They lost 52-34 at Clinton Central on Tuesday for their first conference loss of the year, then lost 43-33 to Maconaquah on Thursday, then bounced back for a 45-38 win over Eastern on Friday. The Trojans host 0-9 Frankfort Tuesday, and then host 7-3 Clinton Central in another conference game on Friday. Taylor is 2-9 overall, 0-2 in the Hoosier Heartland. They lost 62-29 to Northfield on Tuesday for their 4th straight loss. The Titans have 2 home games this week. 4-6 Clinton Prairie comes to town on Monday. Then they host 4-6 Delphi on Friday. Eastern is 0-10 overall, 0-2 in the conference. They lost 48-24 on Tuesday. Then they lost 45-38 to Tri-Central on Friday. Senior Marley Cone had 23 points and 19 rebounds for the week for the Comets. Now to the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Pendleton Heights is 6-5 overall, 3-1 In the conference, they lost 53-33 at number 2 Hamilton Southeastern on Tuesday, and then improved to 3-1 in the conference with a 76-48 win over Delta on Thursday. For the week, Pendleton senior Casey Werfel had 50 points. She made 7 of her 13 three-point attempts and had 12 rebounds and 10 steals for the week. Yorktown is 5-4 overall and 1-1 in the Hoosier Heritage. They lost both games they played this week, 44-34 at Wapahani on Tuesday. Sophomore Alexa Fields had 13 points and freshman Riley Johnson had 10. Then they lost 47-44 in a tough conference loss against Mount Vernon on Friday. Sophomore Olivia Conklin had 15 points in that one. She was 6 for 8 from the field. Fields had 9 points and 13 rebounds in the loss. I asked Yorktown head coach Leanne Barga what she learned about her team in the 0-2 week.
Well, we learned a lot, I believe. Against Wapahani, we just found out we weren't ready. We got to the first quarter, and they hit us hard, and we never really responded until the very end, and it's too late by then. So Wapahani was disappointing in that respect, that we just weren't ready. And with Mount Vernon, we had a great second, third, fourth quarter, but the first quarter just killed us. We only scored 2 points and missed a lot of easy shots. Everybody did, and it just we had a shot at the end to tie it, but that first quarter just really hurt.
I suppose you expect to improve in those areas going forward. About halfway through the
Yeah,
season now, right?
yeah, we're good. Yeah, I believe we are. For us, we don't have a lot of games at the beginning of November, so but December we we hit it hard. So yeah, we're probably are halfway.
And what do you want to see from your team this week?
This week, well, we just played Massanutten, and then we play Pendleton Heights on Monday, which is a conference game. But with Massanutten, I want to go out and play hard, 4 quarters. We need to get back to where we have to put together 32 minutes and not pick and choose, certain times to play. And we need to. We're going to be shooting a lot this week. Our shooting percentage isn't the greatest, so we're just going to get some shots up and fine tune some things that we need to work on the defensive end. And that when we play Pendleton Heights, like I said, that's a conference game. They're a very good team. Not that Massanutten isn't, but Pendleton Heights has always been tough for us. And we're gonna have to play well, really well.
As Coach Bargy said, the Tigers are at 3-6 Wednesday and 3-6 Massanutten Wednesday in their only game of the week. Then have a big one next Monday against Pendleton. Delta is 7-4 overall and 2-2 in the conference. The Eagles beat Muncie Burris 84-35 on Tuesday behind 30 points from junior Griffin Knight. Junior Jillian Barnes had 7 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 steals in that one. Freshman Grace Maurer, 14 points and 9 rebounds. Then the Eagles lost 76-48 at Pendleton Heights on Thursday. Barr had 20 points and 7 rebounds in that one. The Eagles host 3-6 Eastbrook on Tuesday. Then they are at 8-2 Greenfield Central in another conference game on Saturday afternoon. In the North Central Conference, Kokomo is 7-3 overall and 1-1 in conference play. This week they won 49-38 at Western on Tuesday. Senior Michaela Drake had 16 points and 8 steals. Sophomore Bella Richards, 8 points and 10 rebounds. Then they lost 54-45 after a slow start against Class 4A number 11 McCutcheon on Friday. The Wildcats had 7 players between 4 and 9 points. The death knell was 6 for 26 from behind the 3-point line. I asked Kokomo head coach Haley Peckinpaugh about her team's 1-1 week.
I think Western was a good win. We played, pretty good basketball. Still didn't shoot it great, but definitely getting better each game. And then Friday night against McCutcheon, we get down. The first quarter was it was a slow start. It wasn't even just a slow start. It was a slow quarter. And, when that happens, you just try to hope that they can face a little bit of adversity in those moments and be able to kind of battle back. And that's exactly what those girls did. We got it within 6 in the second quarter, and then back in the fourth quarter, we got it within 7. So, we're gonna keep kind of playing how we're gonna play, but I'm not gonna say happy, but I am proud of the way they played.
I've noticed that the shooting percentages have been going down the last couple of weeks. What's the issue there? Is it shot selection or is it just cold shooting?
I think sadly enough, and I'm sure other teams are super excited about it, but I think we're in just a shooting slump. There's not much else. The shot selection has been okay. We're getting open shots. We're getting high percentage shots. They're just not falling. They're going in and coming back out. They're hitting the front of the rim or the back of the rim. They're right there. And I think that it's affecting the girls, mental state as well because we're not shooting well. But like I told them, we're 7-3 and we haven't really had a great shooting game. So we got to feel pretty good about that.
Kokomo is at 2-9 Hamilton Heights on Tuesday. Muncie Central is 5-4 overall and 1-1 in the North Central Conference. The Bearcats beat Jay County 50-45 last Tuesday and have won 3 of their last 4 games after only winning 2 games all of last season. The Bearcats have 3 games this week. First, they host 7-3 Clinton Central on Tuesday. Then they play 0-10 Anderson and 3-6 Union on back-to-back nights. At Anderson on Friday evening and at home against Union on Saturday at noon. The Marion Giants lost both games they played this week and are now 4-6 overall and 1-1 in the North Central Conference. They lost to Wayne 59-40, and that one, freshman Naomi Hahn had 17 points, freshman Jaylee Townsend 15 points and 8 rebounds, and senior Shania Scott added 13 points. On Saturday, Marion lost 76-40 at Huntington North for their 3rd straight loss. The Giants look to right the ship when they go to 1-10 New Haven on Tuesday. They also face Kokomo in a North Central Conference game on Friday evening. That is a girls-boys doubleheader. Anderson is 0-10 overall and 0-3 in the North Central Conference. They lost 48-19 to Mount Vernon on Tuesday and 68-34 against Purdue Poly Inglewood on Friday. Anderson looks to get off the schneid this week either at 8-5 Warren Central, and that's on Monday, or Friday at home against 5-4 Muncie Central and an NCC contest. To the Mid-Eastern Conference, Wapahani is 9-1 overall, 5-1 in the Mid-Eastern Conference. They beat Yorktown this week 44-34 on Tuesday. In that one, senior Kimber Abshire had 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting with 14 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 assists. Later in the week, the Raiders beat Winchester 56-20 on Thursday night. It was their 5th straight win. Senior Judy Dargo had 20 points, junior Megan Luce 17 points and 8 rebounds, and junior Emily Luce had 9 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals. Wapahani hosts 5-6 Frankton on Thursday, then go to 2-9 Cowan for a conference game on Thursday. Daleville's 5-4 overall, 1-2 in the conference. The Broncos beat Frankton 55-50, their first win over the Eagles in at least 30 years. Senior Trishelle Johnson, junior Addison Gothrop, and sophomore Olivia Pratcher had 44 of the team's 55 points. Johnson had 15 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. Daleville has 3 conference games this week. They host 3-7 Blue River on Tuesday. 6-5 Shenandoah comes to Daleville on Thursday. Then the Broncos go to 0-10 Westell on Saturday evening. Cowan is 2-9 overall and 0-4 in the conference. They lost 34-31 at Blue River on Friday and have lost 5 of their last 6. Rough week coming up for the Blackhawks. They host 9-1 Wapahani and are at 7-2 Tri. 0-10 Westdell is 0-5 in the conference. They lost 48-17 to Cambridge City on Tuesday despite 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 block shots from freshman Aubrey Antrim. Westell is at 11-1 Alexandria on Monday. We should have details on that on Tuesday. Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball scoreboard. They host 3-6 Union on Wednesday and 5-4 Daleville on Saturday. To the Pioneer Conference, Anderson Prep is 8-4 after a 44-32 win at Union on Saturday. The Jets host 2-8 Madison Grant on Thursday, their last game of the calendar year. And Muncie Burris is 1-11 overall, 0-2 in the Pioneer Conference. The Owls lost 55-18 at University on Friday and 58-21 at Shenandoah on Saturday. The Owls have no more games until January 14th. Before we get to the Central Indiana Sports Report weekly honors, please go right now and like, subscribe, or follow us on your favorite podcasting site, or now at YouTube, where you can just search Central Indiana Sports Report and you can find all of our podcast segments right there. Please like, subscribe, or follow so you don't miss a single segment. All right, to our weekly honors. We start with the Central Indiana Sports Report win of the week. That was Daleville's 55-50 win over Frankton, the Broncos' first win over the Eagles in at least 30 years. The Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball coach of the week is Oak Hill's Carrie Barcombe. She has her Oak Hill Golden Eagles on a 6-game winning streak and 10-1 overall. The Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball single game individual performance of the week goes to Alexandria senior Jacqueline Hosier. She had 28 points, 9 steals, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, and the Tigers' 67-22 win over defending CIC champion Blackford on Friday. She needed just 15 field goal attempts to score her 28 points. The Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball player of the week is Pendleton Heights senior Casey Werfel. She had 50 points on the week, going 7 for 13 from the three-point line. She also had 12 rebounds and 10 steals in the Arabians' 2 games last week. And finally, the Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball team of the week is the Hamilton Heights Huskies. After starting the season 0-9, Heights won twice last week, beating Logansport and West Lafayette to become the Central Indiana Sports Report girls basketball team of the week. One thing before we get to our new 20-team power poll. I know you've been thinking about somebody who would really enjoy the Central Indiana Sports Report. This is your chance right now. Copy the link to this podcast and send it to them right now. All right, well, in our girls basketball power poll, we decided there were enough competent teams to expand it to 20. So here we go. Coming in at number 20 is 8-4 Anderson Prep. They have their best record through 12 games in program history, and it seems more wins are coming up soon. Northwestern is 3-6 and number 19. After a 2-2 start, the Tigers have lost 4 of their last 5. Tri-Central comes in at number 18. The Trojans are 5-5 and have lost 3 of their last 5. Mississinawa is number 17. They are 3-6. They've won 2 of their last 3 meetings following a 5-game losing streak. Western, despite being just 2-6, comes in at number 16. They are so close to having the reverse record of 6-2. Daleville is number 15. The Broncos are looking like serious sectional championship contenders. 8-3 Elwood is number 14. They already have more wins this season than any year since 2017. Eastbrook is number 13. The Panthers are 3-6 overall and seem to be improving quickly throughout the season. Marion comes in at number 12. They've lost 3 in a row since a 4-3 start and are 4-6 overall. 5-6 Frankton is just outside the top 10 at number 11. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down for the Eagles so far this year. Muncie Central impressively comes in at number 10. They are 5-4 on the year. They stay at the 10 spot. Incredible bounce back season for the Bearcats. They only won twice last year. They've won 3 of their last 4 under first-year head coach Damian Wyatt. Delta comes in at number 9. They stay where they were last week. The Eagles had won 3 straight before Thursday's loss to Pendleton. Lapel is number 8. They stay in the same spot. After a disappointing 1-3 start, the Bulldogs have won 6 of their last 8 and 3 in a row by a combined 228-69. Yorktown moves down 1 spot to number 7. The Tigers lost twice last week, but are still having a really strong season. Kokomo drops from number 5 to number 6. They did lose to McCutcheon last week, but were at least as good as the Mavericks over the final 3 quarters in that one. Wapahani moves up from number 7 to number 5. The Raiders have won 5 in a row, their longest winning streak since late in the 22-23 season. Sheridan moves from number 3 to number 4 through no fault of their own. The Blackhawks have won 5 in a row and have their best 8 game start in the last 7 years. But Oak Hill moved up 1 spot. The Eagles have won 6 in a row, including a 24-point win over rival and defending conference champion Mississinawa. Pendleton Heights stays at number 2. The Arabians are only 6-5, but they're a top 2 team because of the schedule that they play. It also won't be long before the Arabians get a chance to prove that they're the best team in the area. They should be playing Alexandria in the Madison Grant tournament. Number 1 Alexandria is 11-0. They are up to number 2 in the latest Class 2A poll. They seem like a serious state championship contender. Thanks so much to Frankton head coach Jeff Bates, Yorktown head coach Leanne Barga, and Kokomo head coach Haley Peckinpaugh for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report for the Girls Basketball Weekend Review. And thank you for listening. Go like, subscribe, or follow so you don't miss a segment, and please tell a friend. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Sissy.